Hello and welcome back to my Lupus diary. My name is Disha and I hope you guys are doing great. Today we are going to talk about a topic which I am very close to and I can relate to it because I suffer celiac myself, and there is a celiac 101 and we are going to discuss few questions that I often get from other celiac patients or people who are gluten intolerant in general about celiac and gluten-free diet, as well as certain gastroparesis patients as well contact me for this, right? So now, first question that I get about celiac: can you heal celiac? Now, celiac is a disorder of the small intestine, right? Where the absorption of the protein called gluten is not possible, and it actually ends up hurting your system. And there are small furry type substances in the intestine, which videos I have already created about celiac and how it functions. You can refer to those old videos of mine. You will find it in my playlist also. So they get hurt, and these bristles are injured, which actually absorb the nutrition from the body, which in turn makes us malnourished, right? So celiac patients are mostly anemic. They also suffer from other vitamin and mineral deficiency, obviously because of the fact that you are not able to digest and absorb the nutrition well. Now, can celiac be healed? To an extent, yes. Celiac can be controlled, and with time and with correct form of gluten-free diet, followed for longer than a year or so, you can start seeing changes in the uh, absorption of the nutrition, as well as the small intestines starts healing, which means that gluten-free diet is the only way out when it comes to healing celiac, right? Second question which I got was, is it necessary for me to be on a gluten-free diet all my life? Yes. If you have celiac, you have to be on a gluten-free diet so that you do not worsen the situation, as well as you do not face severe symptoms, right? There are people who are non-celiac but gluten intolerant people. So there are people who are intolerant to gluten or allergic to gluten for a certain period of time. After that, they are suddenly able to tolerate gluten. For those kind of people, yes, you can eat gluten once you are able to tolerate it, and you are declared as non-celiac patient by a gastroenterologist, right? So your gastroenterologist needs to tell you that you are not a celiac patient anymore and you are able to tolerate it, then only eat it without doctor's consent. Please, if you have celiac, do not try to indulge into anything that has gluten. It is very hazardous for your health and can be fatal, right? Yes, but on that note, I would always like to tell you, my gastroenterologist always jokes upon this, that you are not going to die if you eat a bowl, right? So it is like, you don't die if you just get contaminated with gluten once. It doesn't happen like that. But yes, it is not good for you, and that's the reason you are supposed to avoid it completely. Now, third question that I get often is, I'm not able to tolerate all gluten-free grains. Why? Now, with the intestine uh, not working that nicely, there are chances that even gluten-free grains, certain grains, are heavier for the system to tolerate and digest. And that is the reason you are not able to tolerate them. So you can try out one at a time, and the best thing to try and start with the really flared small intestine in celiac is rice. Yes, most of the times rice is tolerable and it is very easy to digest, which makes it comfortable for your system as well as for you, because you will feel full also at the same time and contented that you have eaten something, right? Now, third fourth question: how am I supposed to eat at a restaurant? Now, when you go to a restaurant, you need to ask them if they have a separate gluten-free menu, right? So, if they have a gluten-free menu, very good. If they do not have a gluten-free menu, then you need to check with them if and if they can provide you with gluten-free options. They can customize dishes where there is no gluten involved, and in India especially, there is a lot of gluten-free choices available. People just don't know that what is gluten-free. So you are aware, the food that we eat for mostly are uh, ufbas, the Ferrari food in India is all gluten free, like Rajgira, that is amaranth, like Juar, that is sorghum. You can have makke ka atta, that is corn. You can have bajra, that is millet. You can have morio, that is pole millet. So you can have different types of millets, and you can easily avoid gluten in your diet and swap your food choices for the good. Basically, with celiac, there are chances that you develop gastroparesis as well. I have. So, with gastroparesis, your stomach does not ebb, uh, empty like a regular stomach should, right? The stomach emptying time increases. For patients who have gastroparesis with celiac, need to be very careful while they eat a gluten-free diet, because certain gluten-free grains are high in fiber, and that makes it very difficult for a patient with gastroparesis to tolerate it, right? It is very difficult for them to empty the stomach faster, which makes it very miserable for them. Now, for such patients, rice is one of the best options. So if you can tolerate rice very well, it is amazing option. If you cannot tolerate rice and you want another options, try amaranth, try ragi, try sorghum, juwar, try out bajra. Bajra is a bit heavy, that is millet. Millets are a bit heavy. So millet you only try if you are able to digest it. If you can sustain with it, it is good. You can have sago, that is, you can have sabudana, right? They are really good. They are just pearls and very easy to digest. They have got no fiber at all, but they are filling. That is a very good option as well. So keep trying one of the other, all this stuff, and celiac can be controlled, and you can stay in a very well remission phase with celiac, and you can lead a normal life being on a gluten free diet. So whenever you go to Starbucks, or you go to any cafe, or you go to eat or drink something outside, or you have anything packaged, you need to read the labels. Yes, with celiac comes label reading. That is very important. You need to read all your labels really clearly. So if you see, there are labels behind every packet food that you bring. So you don't want to eat something that has got maltosing or something. You need to Google everything out, right? Anything that can have starch or wheat content in it, or soya content for that matter, should be avoided. That is something you really need to make sure you do, right? And Apart from that, all you need to make sure is just stick to gluten-free diet. If you go to restaurants and cafes, just talk to them, tell them, I don't want a drink that has got anything to do with gluten, or any syrup that has gluten should be avoided in my drinks, or any food or gravy especially have starch that is gluten based. So you need to avoid gravy based food that can help you avoid gluten to a large extent. And nowadays there are gluten free breads and gluten free products, as well as gluten free restaurants and menus available all over the world, which makes life much more easier for a patient with gluten intolerant as well as celiac patients. So I just hope this vlog was really informative for you and you really get some benefit out of this. I hope to see you in the next vlog. Until then, this is Disha signing off. Take care. Bye bye. Do subscribe to the channel if you like the vlog. Thank you.